the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
End-of-life decisions are hard. Be it pre-planning or sudden loss, you need to have an advocate in your corner, which is why I wholeheartedly recommend Drennan & Ford Funeral Home and Crematory in Port Angeles, the only locally owned funeral home and crematory in Clallam County. Their expertise ensures a smooth process so you can focus on healing and being with your loved ones. Their help through the darkest time in my life will forever stay with me. Call 360-457-1210.
Let purple reign.
77 yards! Michael Penix threw a beauty of a ball! The pressure and it goes down!
This Saturday, UW opens the 2023 season against Boise State in Seattle.
Goes for the home run for a Dunze. It's caught! Touchdown, Roma Dunze!
Kickoff is at 12:30.
He breaks past everybody. He's getting it in!
Listen all season long on your home for Washington football.
We take the air at 11:30 Saturday morning here on Newsradio KONP. KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. City of Port Angeles lifting its boil water precaution this morning. City staff say satisfactory water sample results received this morning warranted lifting the citywide notice, so no longer necessary to boil your tap water. The boil water notice was in effect following repairs to a water transmission main and subsequently low water levels this past weekend in the city's reservoirs. If you do experience discolored water, officials say flush your water lines by running the water in a bathtub or faucet until the water runs clear.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Highs level off around 66. Winds out the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies tonight. Chance for scattered rain showers. Lows around 54. Chance for scattered showers again tomorrow. Highs level off around 67. Mainly cloudy skies expected. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 65 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And welcome once again to the program. We've got a lot of celebrating to talk about over the next hour or so here. And first part of the program, we're going to chat about the Fall Spectacular, which is happening in just a couple weeks up at Peninsula College's Port Angeles campus. And we welcome to the studio the president of PC, Dr. Susie Ames. Susie, good to see you again. Thanks for coming down. Becoming a regular habit here lately, coming to see me, but
thrilled to be here.
All right. And also with us, Peninsula College's foundation manager, Luke Pettengill, who's going to help lead us through what the big event will be like. So, Susie, we'll go to you first. Let's talk about this. Is the second go-round now for this special spectacular. And kind of the reasoning, I think, is to get people up there, as we've talked in the past, just to take a look at what that beautiful campus looks like and what Peninsula College has in the community.
Yeah, so second annual Fall Spectacular. It'll be September 9th. And last year was our first event. We had over 4,000 community members show up and completely caught us by surprise. And clearly there's a need in the community for free, fun, family-focused events. And so the college is really honored to be able to play a role in giving kids just a really great, fun experience. And then I always like to say we sprinkle in learning and educational opportunities.
Right. A few things in there. But I know this was one of the things when we first talked, you first came on board, you wanted to get people to, experience Peninsula College and realize it's more than just that place up there on the hill that so many people probably don't even ever really visit.
Yeah, so this event was actually well in the works before I was even selected for the position. But that is a goal. So many folks just do think of us as this mysterious place up on the hill. And we really want to demystify that. And we really want to show that community colleges are for everyone. When we can get kids started when they're super young, and there's opportunities for adults too.
And you have a beautiful campus to do something fun in the fall or early. Well, it's not even really quite fall. It's still summer, but you get the deal after Labor Day.
Yeah, it is the most beautiful community college campus in the state. I've been to all of them, and it's by far the most amazing one.
All right. So let's swing over, and we'll talk with Luke just a bit about all of this. First question, what is the goal in having this event from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, we had a ton of anecdotes similar to what you had just shared of people who showed up and were like, I had no idea there was even a college up here. Additionally, a lot of anecdotes from people saying, there's all these events that I could participate in, but they're all so much money, and it's something that's really difficult if you've got a family of five. And so we had a lot of families that showed up that might not step foot on a college campus, and they got an experience that, hey, we're normal people, we're good people here.
Yeah.
So.
But 4,000 folks, that's a lot of people to show up. And I know when it was kind of, let's just see how this goes.
Yeah.
That was the attitude last year, I'm sure,
well,
right?
It was, our thoughts, because we were trying to set, proper expectations. And then obviously you build an infrastructure that's built for the amount of people coming. And so we were thinking 300 people would be a win, 300 people. And then people just kept coming and coming and coming. And all of a sudden these flyers that we had 1,000 that we were handing out to people about an hour into the event, they're all gone. And so it filled up. And so we're excited for this year and get people back on campus.
So you're going big again this year. And now that you know that that many folks might show up or possibly could show up, you're ready for it this year, I'm sure.
It's offer more than one food option. So we had our deli had over 1,000 transactions that were done at this little deli that was expecting to make a few
couple
sandwiches.
hundred, and that was it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's take us through what the event on the 9th looks like for folks if they want to come up there and bring the family. And again, it's the price is right.
The price is free. So we've got the Port Angeles Farmers Market has partnered with us this year, and so when you walk onto campus, the front part of campus will be over 20 booths from the farmers market. So lots of craft and artisan vendors, and then we've got some great food out there. And so that'll be when you walk in. As you keep walking, deeper into campus, we've got some community partners that are joining us. So we've got the North Olympic Library System, Olympic Medical Center, Olympic National Park, all of them doing interactive booths that are built for kids. So everything from, I think they had one booth that played basketball and handed out prizes last year. Another that did bracelet making and that sort of thing, all designed for kids to be interactive with them. And then as you walk into kind of the center of campus, we've got inflatables, lots of them for kids. So if you've got kids, we've got things like face painting. We've got the interactive booths. We've got I think we've got 8 inflatables. We've got free cotton candy, free popcorn, all sorts of fun stuff. And then for if you're an adult and no kids and you're just looking to have a good time, we've got a beer garden. We've got a band by the name of Black Diamond Junction.
I'm familiar with that.
I hear they have a decent keyboardist. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
And so we've got Bread and Gravy as well coming out and playing. And then additionally, all throughout campus, we've got interactive classrooms. And so, everything from welding to we've got a classroom on rocks and fossils on the Olympic Peninsula where they'll show you these rocks and fossils. And we've got a ceramics lab doing a demonstration. We've got all sorts of things. So if you've got young kids, there's something to do. If you've got older kids, or you're an adult and
maybe you're a kid at heart,
or you're a kid at heart, you're a kid that has rent and a mortgage and all that. So,
I think it's interesting because you just pointed out, and Susie alluded to this too, is to get folks up there and you still give them a little education, even though they're having fun at it. That's
the goal. That's the goal, and also to connect them with. A lot of people don't realize we have community education classes across the peninsula, and so everything from what do we got? We got there's a coffee roasting class. There's a grant writing class. All sorts of things that might interest people. So.
Do other colleges do similar events like this, or maybe take us back through the planning of putting all of this together even a couple of years ago? The idea.
Well, that might be something I defer to Susie on. Have you seen this at another class before, or at another school before?
I've never seen it done before. All right. And anything on this scale. And I think it's just a great symbol that the college is intricately involved in the community, and we want to be a member of the community. So I think it's just a great event, and I never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's like kind of having another little carnival and fair at the end of summer.
That's right.
Ultimately, you want to get the word out. This is a chance for people to not only see the beautiful campus, have a good time, engage a bit, but also just to really see what value there is to Peninsula College. And I think whether that might be enrolling in classes or perhaps even thinking about like giving to the foundation, things like that.
That's something you can do. Yeah. So the goal was to move the event back a few weeks so we could catch folks, that might be interested in enrolling into the fall. And so, as a result, so if people show up on campus and they see, what, I'm looking for another career, and there's an option for welding and that sort of thing that they might have not known was an opportunity here. It's a great opportunity to expose them to those things. And so, yeah, there will be an area where people can actually apply and register for school, and then also an area where if you really believe in the mission of the college and providing even scholarships for potential students, a place to give to the foundation as well.
Right. Since we have you here, let's talk a bit about the foundation, and then we'll get back to the nuts and bolts. But a lot of folks maybe talk about what the mission is for the foundation at Peninsula College.
Yeah. So it's to support the work that the college does, and so this year was really exciting. I believe it was the most raised in history. We had almost $250,000 that were given to local community students, high schoolers coming up, people that are changing careers, and money that's been distributed to. I want to say we had 70 scholarship recipients receiving about $250,000 this year.
Wow,
so pretty exciting.
Where does most of this through donations? Tell us a bit about how you fund the work the foundation does.
Yeah, so it's through just people in our community who believe in the purpose and the mission of the college. Additionally, we've been working with, and I don't know if you want to speak on the automotive program and things that we've been working on as well, Susie.
Sure. So as Luke said, the core mission of the foundation is to meet the needs of the college. So our mission and the foundation's mission are intricately connected. So right now, as we've talked about for this past year, our number one goal as a college is to grow our enrollment. And so the foundation is right there with us. So they helped us raise the critical funds to get our natural resources program off the ground. They're helping us raise money for our electric vehicle program. So we're just really in lockstep. So we're communicating with our donors and our community leaders to say, here's the needs of the college and here's the way you can help.
And I guess a little of this, what I'm hearing you say, is the foundation kind of gives those extra things that perhaps aren't built directly into, traditionally what the college has funding for.
Yeah, I would love to say that the state of Washington funds all of our needs, but that's just not the case. So the state of Washington's commitment to students' tuition has gone down precipitously in my 23 years in education. Back when you and I were in community college, more than 70% of our tuition was covered by the state of Washington. It is now below 50%.
Wow. Yeah.
So the tuition keeps rising, and it's really up to our donors. And thankfully, in a town like this, they are so supportive of helping students get a leg up so they can complete their education.
And, that's doubly important because the affordability of a community college is one of the attractions to it.
Yeah, we're still by far the best
value.
deal in town to get a college education. And it's only $6,000 a year, which might sound expensive to a lot of people, but that is a screaming deal compared to a four-year university or a private institution. And we have lots of state and federal aid through scholarships and grants, and then the foundation just keeps coming in and rounding out that package, along with giving us money to do things like start a new instructional program, which, again, I wish the state of Washington would give us seed money to start those new programs because they're going to have a direct impact on our local economy. But that's not the case right now. Unfortunately, our local employers see that they have an opportunity to step up and fill that gap, and they've been doing so in really great ways.
Yeah, Luke, I would liken some of the work you do as kind of be the public arm of Peninsula College in some ways.
Absolutely. Yep.
And maybe the Fall Spectacular is a great example of that too, is really being a kind of another face of the college.
It is, yeah. That's the hope, is to get people aware of what we do, aware of the new exciting programs that we have, the natural resource program, our new automotive tech program, things like that.
All right. Before we get you out of here, give us the nuts and bolts. When should folks arrive? What's happening? And I know there's a whole schedule. I think online people can kind of see what's sort of shaking out that whole day.
Yep, and it'll be in the newspaper this weekend as another reference there. But it's September 9th, so not this Saturday, the following Saturday, and from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And festivities start right away. And so music starts at 10:30 all the way through the end of the day, and we're open for business from 10 to 3 that day.
All right.
And hourly laptop giveaways, right?
I should mention that. Yeah, so we're giving away a laptop every hour, and so we gave away, I want to say 6 last year, and we're going to be giving away some tickets from the Field Art and Event Hall this year as well. So.
Okay, so come just hang out. It's a great way to spend a day. It's a beautiful place. Lots of food, music, fun stuff. Bouncy houses galore. The only thing you're missing is the balloon thing this year, right? That went awry a little bit, right?
Yep. So the goal was to do a balloon initially, but we got a beautiful soccer field, new turf on our soccer field this past year, and apparently having large trucks on new turf is not a good thing. So,
well, that's okay. Come for all the other things that are inflatable.
That's right.
That'll be up there. All right.
Right.
Luke, great to have you here. Thanks, Luke Pettengill, who's the Peninsula College Foundation Manager, and Dr. Susie Ames. Susie, great to have you here as well from Peninsula College. Good luck. We'll see you in a couple weeks. I guess I gotta be there. Right?
That's right. I hope so.
Thanks for your support.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll switch gears in just a bit. And the second part of the program today, another celebration happening this weekend, and that's First Fed's 100th anniversary. And we'll chat about what's going on with the community celebration with that right after this.
If you're an avid DIYer or builder, it's a necessity to have the right tool for the job. Makita and Milwaukee Power Tools have more than 200 right tools for the job, all running on their own battery platforms. That means a battery from your Makita or Milwaukee drill will also fit the battery to your same brand circular saw, leaf blower, grinder, or any of the other 196 tools they make. At Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel's, we stock the largest selection of Makita and Milwaukee power tools in the area, and we'll back it up by matching any non-promotional advertised price. These are not the power tools of 10 or even 5 years ago. The technology has grown to allow for greater power, longer battery life, and greater versatility. If you haven't handled a power tool in a while, we invite you to come on in and try one out for yourself. Make your next project that much easier with a Makita or Milwaukee power tool from Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel's. Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel Building Supply. Building homes, building community since 1906.
When every second counts, you need the best care. Olympic Medical Center's emergency department is making significant updates to ensure you receive faster, more efficient care. A streamlined process means you'll receive expert attention from our healthcare team starting the moment you're triaged. OMC is also the only Level 3 trauma center on the North Olympic Peninsula, meaning we're prepared to quickly handle true emergencies and traumas when they arrive. Learn more about what we're doing at olympicmedical.org/emergency updates.
Before the weather change, make sure your roof won't leak during that first big storm. Trust Tri-State Roofing, a GAF Master Elite Award winner, representing the top 2% in the nation. Call today and ask Tri-State about financing options, including zero down, zero interest, and zero payments for up to 1 year. Go to tristate.pro for details.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Call 253-ROOFING.
The premium compact powerhouse is here. The new MT225S from LS Tractor. 25 horsepower, 2-pedal hydrostatic transmission, and a highly featured operator platform. Now available with dealer-installed cab. All backed by the legendary LS Tractor warranty. Demo the new MT225S at your local dealer today.
Find the perfect LS tractor for you at Leets Farm Supply in Squim. Locally owned and operated, call Leets at 360-452-1400.
LS Tractor, simply more.
The second weekend of this season's sprint boat racing is happening at the Extreme Sports Park on September 9th and 10th. The Steel America Sprint Boat Races will be heard all across town. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today and be in the middle of it all. Watch power explode explode in twists, turns, and incredible navigation skills. Make it a weekend event and camp for just $35 a night starting at noon on Thursday. Or just bring your chair and kick back both days. Tickets available online at extremesportspark.net.
All right, thanks for joining us on the program. Going to take another quick break, get caught up on some news and some other items here in just a moment. Then we're going to be talking with the CEO at First Fed to chat about the 100th anniversary and a big day of free community events that is happening this weekend in our community. That's coming up next.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg salutes our military veterans, active duty, and first responders each and every day. This isn't a special or a one-time deal. 365 days a year, Red Carpet offers 10% off all services to this special group. Please let them know who you are so they can honor you. And for Purple Heart recipients, you'll receive a free wash anytime, every day. Please accept our appreciation for your service and sacrifice. Red Carpet Car Wash, open Monday through Sunday, 8 till 5.
Join us for the new Squim Ace Hardware grand opening this Thursday, August 31st. Be one of the first 50 customers. You'll get a free gift plus free coffee and donuts. The Squim Ace Hardware, your neighborhood resource for all your home project and repair needs. Don't miss the grand opening Thursday, and the celebration continues all Labor Day weekend long. Enjoy daily cooking demos, big brand giveaways, and special buys. See you at Squim Ace Hardware, Highway 101, Carlsberg.
Jammin' in the Park is back. Nor'Wester Rotary and Koenig Subaru present a day of great live music, food, cars, and a kid zone too. It's Saturday, September 2nd from 11 to 5 at Pebble Beach Park, just north of the new Field Arts and Events Hall.
Jammin' in the Park is made possible in part by RJ Services, Dr. Stephen Lewis, and by Koenig Subaru.
Come be part of the fun at Jammin' in the Park, September 2nd in downtown Port Angeles.
As the school bell rings again, let's keep our young learners safe. Stay vigilant while driving through school zones, watching for kids crossing. Remind your family, friends, and neighbors to be extra cautious. Let's make this academic year accident-free. Our children's well-being is a shared responsibility. Slow down, stay attentive, and ensure a safe journey for every student. Together, we can create a secure environment as kids head back to school. This message brought to you by all of us at Radio Pacific.
What if you could be a part of something bigger than yourself? Something meaningful. Something that's helped shape the lives of men for over 300 years. What if you could transform not just your own purpose, but your entire community? As the leading fraternal organization in the world, we unite men of good character who share a belief in the brotherhood of mankind. More than a man, a Mason. Visit freemason-wa.org.
Sponsored by the Grand Lodge of Washington and aired in cooperation with the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Michael McDonald. A new Wallet Hub survey ranks many of Washington State's cities among the best in the nation to purchase a home. The study, which looked at 300 cities across the country, examined 17 key indicators, including housing affordability, median home price appreciation, median days on the market, and foreclosure rates. Seattle was ranked 13th, Vancouver 34th. Spokane Valley came in 53rd place. The top city to buy a home is McKinney, Texas. That is near Dallas. A teen accused of shooting a detective in Tacoma tried to get his dad to pick him up. Tacoma police were running a stolen car mission, spotting a Hyundai speeding. It stopped behind an apartment and the suspects ran away. A detective in an unmarked vehicle spotted the suspects. One of them shot the detective in the shoulder. The suspects ran and hid. One of the boys sent his father their location and asked to be picked up. The father called police. The boys were arrested. The suspected shooter was charged with attempted murder. And strong thunderstorms could cause flooding in northeastern Washington. National Weather Service posting a flood watch from this afternoon through Wednesday. The storms could produce heavy rain at times, leading to flooding in areas with very poor drainage and urban areas as well. Even debris flows would be possible in steep terrain. For details on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app or visit WashingtonStateNews.net.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I taught for 20 years, until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation, together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast. Chance for scattered rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Highs level off around 66. Winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies tonight. Chance for scattered rain showers. Lows around 54. Chance for scattered showers again tomorrow. Highs level off around 67. Mainly cloudy skies expected. I'm weatherology meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 65 degrees.
Hi, welcome back to the program. Going to spend the next segment talking about a big celebration that's happening this weekend. It's First Fed's 100th anniversary year, and they have a big day all lined out on Sunday for the community to take part in. And we have the CEO from First Fed joining us. Matt Dynas is here. Matt, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Todd, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
I jokingly off the air said, you don't get to celebrate 100 years every day.
You don't, and it's very special. I mean, First Fed has been a part of this community for this entire time since 1923. It's really humbling to be a part of it, and I've been here for 4 years and absolutely adored it. And so many great people that have been a part of this story as customers, as employees, our board members over the years. It's a special, special part of the Olympic Peninsula.
It certainly is. I mean, when you talk about a local bank, around here, that's the first one people usually say, oh, yeah, First Fed. It's very ingrained in the community.
I hope so. I mean, that's our goal. That's what we work for every day. And that's how we differentiate, right? There's lots of choices for people in terms of banking and financial services. And it's really about the relationships that we've developed over the years and the new relationships that we want to form. That's our core competency and our niche, is by knowing our customers and being there for them and being there for the community and the not-for-profits and all the other organizations that we work with every day. It's something that's really special to us and very, very important to us.
So, this has been a whole year of a celebration, but really the apex of it is this weekend. So let's talk about what's happening on Sunday in Port Angeles.
Absolutely. Our folks have been planning for this for some time. We're really, really excited. I am so thrilled for the events. We're going to be getting together on Sunday down on First and Oak. We've taken over a couple of the parking lots there. We'll be inside of Field Hall. We'll be out near Pebble Beach in the field there where we will have a main stage. The activities will start at 11 a.m. and we're going to run throughout the day until 9 p.m. So it's going to be an all-day affair, and we hope to have a wonderful number of people who can join us. We're thinking the smoke is going to be gone, and hopefully the weather will be nice. There's going to be plenty of food and activities. There will be some activities that will be held outside, along with food trucks, beer and wine, and then inside the field hall, we have a number of programming and events for people, many of whom maybe haven't been inside a field hall yet, and we're really excited for them to have that opportunity.
All right. Take us through a little bit what people are going to see throughout the day.
Yeah, so we will start around 11. The actual program itself will begin around noon. We have a number of musical acts that will be performing. Abby May and the Homeschool Boys have gotten back together to plan and prepare for this event. Abby actually works for the bank. She is a designer for us in our marketing team. She is an absolutely wonderful performer, and her band are so excited to be back together. And it's quite special for us to have her kick off.
Yeah, she's kicking the whole thing off, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Following Abby will be Lady A, who is from Seattle. She is an award-winning blues and R&B performer. Really, really excited to have her, and I think she will knock people's socks off with her sound and her music. Following that, we'll have a band that I don't know if everyone's heard of called the Snotty Nose Rez Kids. They have a huge following. They are from Canada. They are a hip-hop band. So there may be a time if you want to go in the field hall with young kids, that might be a good time to do that. A little explicit language might be happening with those folks, but they are incredible performers. They just won a 2023 Prism Award for the best Canadian music video for one of their songs. They actually have done several homages to the Beatles, and some of their videos replicate Beatles videos or covers, album covers. So an unbelievable performers. And then finally, the Daddies, who are formerly known as the Cherry Poppin' Daddies, were huge in the late 90s, really were the herald of the neo-swing movement. They sold over 2 million copies of their hit Zoot Suit Riot, so I'm sure we'll get an opportunity to hear that. And they begin around 7:15, and the event will end around 9 p.m. on Sunday evening. And fortunately for many people, since Labor Day is a holiday, you can stay up a little late.
Sleep in the next morning.
And sleep in on Monday morning.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So now that's just the musical part of it. You've got other things set up too, right?
We have several. I think we have 8 or 10 food trucks that will be there. We just signed Scooby Dogs from Seattle. They have vegetarian hot dogs. They have grass-fed hot dogs. They have a really cool, it looks like the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. That will be there. There will be beer and wine that are provided out in the food area. And what's kind of nice is it's not a designated beer garden. We can be with our kids and have a adult beverage. Also inside at Field Hall, they will have a couple of specialty cocktails that we're really excited about, and there will be other beer and wine available there. Inside the Field Hall, we will also be having what we're calling the Love Local Showcase. That will include music, dance, and the Resilience Story Hour.
Okay. You have any lineup for what's happening inside there in front of you?
So we will. We'll have the Olympic Peninsula ukulele strummers. They'll be playing great songs from the last 100 years. During the Resilience Story Hour, we'll have Lonnie Grinnell Greninger, who is the Tribal Council Vice Chair for Jamestown Sklallam. Billy Price, who had a very difficult accident when he was in college, and who is paraplegic. He actually created a company called Billy's Footwear that's absolutely phenomenal, and he will be speaking. And then Rob DeCou, who is a professor at PC. He's also an endurance athlete who will be speaking. That hour is going to be absolutely dynamic. And then after that, we'll have the Rhapsody Songsters. Studio 360 will be doing dance, and then the Washington Diamonds drill team. All of those will be held inside the 500-seat theater at Field Hall.
Okay, I was going to say, so in the theater part at Field Hall.
That's right. So there will be indoor activities, outdoor activities. Some of the other outdoor activities include bouncy house, face painting, balloon animals. It'll feel like a big festival. We're really excited for people to come and celebrate. You can come for a few hours, or you can come for the entirety of the day. We are just so excited to celebrate with you and get a chance to see all the great faces from our community.
And the price is right.
It's a free event. The food and obviously the beverages that people can buy that. The alcohol, we actually were able to partner with some not-for-profits, and they will be able to use the proceeds from the alcohol sales to help benefit those nonprofits, including the Olympic Medical Center Foundation, Hurricane Ridge, Winter Sports Education Foundation, and, of course, Field Hall Arts and Event Center.
What a fun day. I mean, that's going to be something else.
We've been looking forward to this for some time, and our team has done just a remarkable job of getting everything put together. We are also providing parking through our partners at the courthouse as well as Peninsula College. There will be shuttles running from 10:30 a.m. until 10:30 p.m. Parking is going to be at a premium, but if you have a chance to park in one of those locations, we'll have those shuttles running about every 10 minutes.
All right. So, yeah, you can park well away, ride a shuttle, and not worry about trying to find a spot.
We're going to try to make that as easy as possible.
I know it's been a little bit difficult because you got ferry traffic. It's the time of year where it's still kind of busy down there as well. So
we Blackball has been a great partner to us, and we've had great conversations with them. That's a busy weekend for them. We do expect some tourists to come over from Victoria, of course, and so we've tried to accommodate them and provide them with some parking for their passengers and folks who just walk onto the ferry.
All right, you've been here 4 years in your position. I'm sure when you arrived at this, it's like, oh, by the way, Matt, guess what's happening in a couple of years?
Well, I was aware of it fairly early on, and so I told myself, you can't screw this up. We've gone 96 years. You've got all these amazing people. We'll have a couple of my predecessors will be there. Okay. Karen McCormick, who wrote an amazing book called Your First Fed, will be there, and she has so many great stories to tell and has done an incredible amount of research. She's truly the historian of First Fed, as well as Larry Hewitt, who immediately preceded me. Mm-hmm. Larry will be there as well. I'm really excited to see the former board members, current and former employees, current board members as well. It's going to be a wonderful reunion and also a great opportunity to celebrate Port Angeles and the Olympic Peninsula.
Your chance, just talk a bit about kind of the impact First Fed in these 100 years has had on the community, because there's quite a bit of what has happened in this community would not have happened if First Fed wasn't there. I think
I
that's
agree.
Safe to
yeah,
say.
I agree. And again, so much of that has gone on for the entirety of First Fed's existence. We were a thrift, which means we really focused on housing and mortgage lending, and we've done a significant number of mortgage loans throughout the year. The rates are a little bit higher right now, and that's to everyone's chagrin, including us. But I will tell you that the ability to support housing, whether or not that be apartment buildings, whether or not that be single-family housing, is really important to us, and an important part of what this community needs, an important part of what we are about is making sure that we can help support housing in this community, and we've done that for a long time. We've also done a lot for small business owners, for individuals who are saving for big events in their lives, and just for people, for a great place for them to put their paychecks, to use a First Fed debit card to pay for things, and to be able to save for those big events in their lives, or just getting through every month.
And you have a pretty active foundation, too. I think we can't let you go without talking about that, because there's been a lot of money that's been put back into the community from First Fed through that.
That's true. So when we became a public company in 2015, I think there were concerns about, they're going to become a corporation that doesn't care about the community. And so a big part of that transaction was an investment that we made in the First Fed Community Foundation. Jan Simon's our executive director. We have been able to donate over $6 million over the last 7 or 8 years, and we continue to actively make donations, grants, twice a year. So every 6 months we have a grant cycle. You can Google and look up the First Fed Community Foundation if you're interested. But we continue to provide and to give back to the community, both through the foundation and through the bank. So we did a large donation to help support Field Hall a couple of years ago. That was from the bank. And so we work together in tandem. They're distinct organizations, but we work together to support our communities and the nonprofits in those communities.
Yeah, and I think that's a great example, too. Let's talk about the Field Hall engagement. That really was a move by First Fed, because I know you as a bank, you said, we got to get this thing done. How can we assure that they can get to the finish line? As
excited as I was for the 100th anniversary, I was equally excited when I saw Field Hall, and it was just a shell. And so many great folks, Brooke Taylor, as the president of the board, Steve Rader Ginsburg as the executive director, Chris Fiddler, so many others who have been a part of that story. When I arrived and I saw this, I said, this is incredible for this city to have arts and events and to have a community place for people to meet and gather and be proud of. And it is something that we are so proud of. I told Steve shortly after he arrived, because it was on pause during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I said, Steve, on the day that you call Mortensen to come back in and start construction, we will provide a $2 million grant to Field Hall. And we wanted to be that support and that stimulus. We're so excited to be celebrating there. I've had the opportunity to go to 3 or 4 events there thus far. If you haven't, there are a number of events that are obviously held there all the time. Some of them are ticketed, some of them are free. This Sunday will be free. Please come down and check out the Field Hall and support it.
Tell me, it's a great place.
And I do have to put in a plug. If there's an opportunity for you to contribute financially to Field Hall, it's so important as we get started in this early period of time to have that great programming, that great training ground for so many of our young people who want to learn about performing arts or to learn about working lights or a board. There's so many opportunities for them to be a stagehand or to even ultimately move up into management. It's just a great civic asset to have Field Hall here in PA.
All right, and you will be using that as First Fed celebration too this weekend. So
we will be there for that and for a number of other events throughout the year, as I know other organizations will be using it, as well as some of the incredible talented performers coming through. It's just an incredible venue.
All right, before we run out of time, just back again, 11 o'clock, things get started on Sunday downtown.
Yeah, so the real main event will start around noon. I think Abby, May, and the homeschool boys will start at that time. We'll have other programming filled in throughout the day. We've got a couple of employees who are helping out with emceeing and keeping things moving along. And we're going to go all day. We'll probably wrap up a little bit after 9 o'clock on Sunday evening, and it should be a lot of fun.
And we should have, I mean, you guys are bringing in a big stage. You're doing also, I mean, this is going to be done up right.
It should be great. Absolutely. If you want to find out more, you can go to ourfirstfed.com/100A for 100th anniversary. All the information you need there. I do want to mention a couple things. Unfortunately, we were not able to do fireworks because of the burn ban. We are hoping that the air quality is really, really good. We're asking people to not bring pets and not to bring lawn chairs. There will be some seating. There will be some ADA seating and some seating for some of the older population. But we ask for you to leave your pets and your lawn chairs at home.
All right. Maybe bring a blanket if you want to sit on the ground.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Well, it's going to be a great weekend all the same. Congrats, Matt.
We're excited, Todd. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I think we may be talking to you again about some other stuff soon, so we'll see you next time, all right?
I'll be back.
All right. That's Matt Dinas there. He is the CEO at First Fed, and big doings on Sunday downtown. You won't miss it because they're going to have all sorts of things floating in the air and all sorts of other stuff happening down near Field Hall where the celebration's happening for the First Fed 100th anniversary, the free community event there. We're going to take a break, and we're going to wrap up our program right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg salutes our military veterans, active duty, and first responders each and every day. This isn't a special or a one-time deal. 365 days a year, Red Carpet offers 10% off all services to this special group. Please let them know who you are so they can honor you. And for Purple Heart recipients, you'll receive a free wash anytime, every day. Please accept our appreciation for your service and sacrifice. Red Carpet Car Wash, open Monday through Sunday, 8 till 5.
Hello, this is Amanda Huff with Swim Valley and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Chapels. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about a new, exciting, and environmentally friendly development in the funeral industry. It's called Natural Organic Reduction, or simply Terramation. Perhaps you've heard of it. Terramation is a process in which the body, after death, is returned to the earth in a carbon-neutral, eco-friendly manner. The process takes place in a controlled environment, and all that remains is a natural, odorless, compost-like material. If you'd like more information about Terramation and advanced planning, call us today at Harper Ridgeview in Port Angeles or Swim Valley Chapel in Swim, and one of our knowledgeable and caring funeral professionals will assist you in answering your questions. Harper Ridgeview and Swim Valley Funeral Chapels, because your loved ones deserve the best.
Don't waste your money on fake, stale, rancid, or substandard olive oils. At Foghorn Olive Oil Tasting Room, our olives are picked green off the trees and processed in 2 to 4 hours and are full of antioxidants. Enhance your fresh fruits, vegetables, and proteins with our healthy and delicious olive oils, always fresh and never, ever cut with unhealthy fake oils for profit. Foghorn Olive Oil Company, open 11 to 4, Wednesday through Saturday.
With Bad Boy's patented Easy Ride and Gen 2 independent suspension, heavy-duty American-made steel construction, and legendary muscle, there's no mower that brings more comfort, durability, power, and value to mowing pros and homeowners than a Bad Boy mower. Mow with an attitude? That's the driving force behind every mower we build in the good old USA. Our promise to lead the industry in innovation and performance. Get your Bad Boy mower at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales in Squim. Mow with an attitude.
Hi, this is Clallam PUD. Did you know we have a program where you can help those less fortunate pay their electric bills? It's called our Neighborly Assistance Program. You can make a one-time or recurring contribution to a fund that assists qualified low-income residential customers. Find out more or print the enrollment card by visiting clallampud.net and entering Neighborly Assistance into the search bar. Your community thanks you for your generosity.
Finally, this afternoon, the Maui fire swept through the town of Lahaina in just a few minutes. But to put together what the families have lost will take a whole lot longer than that. Investigators have been combing wreckage to confirm what exactly started the fire, which raised questions about the local power company possibly trying to cover it up. ABC's Mola Lengji explains why Hawaii Electric is still facing accusations of a possible cover-up.
The Maui fires swept through the town of Lahaina in minutes, but to piece together what families there have lost will take much longer.
A lot of us haven't even had time to grieve. I mean, we just slowly getting out of the survivor mode.
I walked through my room and there's just nothing, like everything is gone.
Investigators have been combing wreckage in recent days to confirm what exactly started this, but in a twist, ABC News has not only uncovered video of what might have been an ignition source, there are also questions about whether the local power company was trying to cover it all up. ABC's Mola Lengji joins us from Maui. Mola, at this point, we've seen the sparks, right? It seems pretty clear that the power line started at least one of these fires, some of these fires, right?
Oh, well, Brad, that's one of those million-dollar questions. It's something everyone here on Maui is asking. How did the fire start? That remains under investigation, federal investigation. As you can imagine, there's been a lot of finger pointing.
I feel 100% that the county officials and the police and the fire department have blood on their hands.
Initially, questions were mostly being asked of the fire department. Firefighters have been adamant that they extinguished the initial brush fire that is believed to have reignited later in the day and sparked the massive wildfire that ultimately burnt down the town of Lahaina, killing at least 115 people.
Tree fell over, hit the power lines, and that's what started the fire.
More recently, questions have been increasingly focused on the power company here, Hawaiian Electric.
Our lawsuit is against Hawaiian Electric Company for failures that we believe and have alleged contributed and caused this fire that, from everything that we've seen, is very foreseeable and would have been very preventable.
Maui County even filing a lawsuit late last week claiming Hawaiian Electric was negligent, that they failed to properly maintain their equipment, and that failure to shut off power lines is what ultimately caused the deadly wildfire. The power company saying this week that it was downed power lines that caused an initial fire, but they have not made the connection that is what caused the massive wildfire later in the day.
Oh, like who's responsible for the full blaze, not just the initial
Exactly.
embers?
Correct, yes. And ABC News obtained exclusive video from a homeowner shot on their cell phone showing downed power lines.
Oh, power line.
Sparking what looked like a grass fire around 6:30 a.m. the morning of the Lahaina fire. So, Brad, somewhere within all of that perhaps lies the answer to how this thing started, how it got so out of control. The answers to those questions could ultimately mean some sort of liability, pretty significant liability for someone or some entity or agency or some company if it is in fact determined that there was fault, that this could have been prevented somehow. But again, that is still being investigated.
Yeah, and it was interesting that when Hawaiian Electric finally, like you said, sort of took this stand and said, nope, wasn't our fault. Their shares jumped nearly 40%. So you can tell that there are investors here with thinking about liability as well.
Right.
So after any big disaster, as you'd expect, investigators show up. I mean, what are they looking for as they do try to piece this together?
As you can imagine, in the hours and the days after the fire, it was a chaotic scene here.
There were 29 poles that fell, and that knocked out the power. Fiber optics were burnt. So there was no power, no cell service.
People were dead. People were missing. Homes and businesses reduced to ash. Power was out throughout West Maui. And as the power company, Hawaiian Electric, tried to scramble to restore power, they're being accused of mishandling and prematurely cleaning up materials and equipment that could have been evidence in the investigation into the cause of the fire, specifically potential evidence from the sites where the fire is believed to have begun. Now, Maui County claiming that the utility company hastily removed power lines and utility poles from those sites before federal investigators arrived to examine and collect that evidence, power lines and utility poles that might have been critical to that federal investigation. The Washington Post reporting that the utility company may have violated federal guidelines on how to preserve evidence and how to remove that sort of equipment, again, in their sort of haste to clear the area. Hawaiian Electric claims that they did everything by the book, but they also leave the door open to some potential tampering of evidence, but not on their part. They say that in the hours and in the days after the fire, it was Maui County's responsibility to secure these sites in question and subsequently secure the evidence, and that the county failed to do that. Hawaiian Electric says that, that their sites were left unsecured for hours and for days, and yes, could have very well been tampered with or compromised by anyone who was just in that area. Now, ultimately, I think, again, what this points to is just how chaotic that initial aftermath was here, and how a seeming, void of leadership.
The only alerts we had were high wind warnings, and that was it.
Who was in charge? Who was calling the shots? Who was coordinating through all of this chaos? How that void seems to have led to confusion and breakdowns in communication, and potentially mistakes and errors that might ultimately have made this entire situation far worse than it otherwise would have been. That's possibly, one of the tragedies here, Brad.
Right, that's the thing, because there's the human tragedy that's already happened. Now you're picturing all these families who, they'd at least like to get compensated somehow, some way, even though it'll never come close to making them whole. But now you can see that there will be struggles over even getting that compensation, and that becomes a whole other sort of tragedy unto itself. Molalengi, there on Maui, thank you so much.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Here's a look at what's happening. Are you raising children 18 years or under related to you but not your biological children, your grandchildren, nieces, or nephews, for example? Could you use help with clothing or other needs for the kids, food or supplies for the household? Well, the Olympic Area Agency on Aging has a kinship care support program you may be eligible for. Contact the Olympic Area Agency on Aging at 360-452-3221 and ask about the kinship program. Independent Bible Church offers grief recovery classes starting this Thursday through November 30th, 10 a.m. at IBC, 116 East Alvers Road in Port Angeles. Contact IBC for more information. And St. Matthew Lutheran Church will have a grief recovery seminar and support group for 13 weeks, meeting at St. Matthew's on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. For information and to sign up for those, contact St. Matthew's Lutheran Church. Volunteer Hospice of Clallam County hosting in-person volunteer orientations for those interested in learning more about or volunteering with the organization. The first session scheduled for Tuesday, September 5th, 11 a.m. at a location in Sequim. The next will be the next day, Wednesday, September 6th at 11 a.m. at the hospice offices in Port Angeles. Now, you need to register for both of those, so call 360-452-1511 if you are interested. The Woodcock Demonstration Garden busting out with vibrant color in our Dahlia Garden, which is the highlight of a free walkabout tour coming up September 7th at 10 a.m. This is at the Garden, 2711 Woodcock Road. Some master gardeners there to talk all about what's happening, especially with the dahlias. And on Saturday, September 9th from 10 to 11:30 a.m., veteran master gardeners will lead a walk through the 5th Street Community Garden in Port Angeles to examine what is happening or should be happening in local vegetable gardens and berry patches. And that's a look at what's happening.
Tri-State Roofing is one of the premier roofing companies in Washington State. You may have seen Tri-State Roofing at the Clallam County Fair and learned their commitment to excellence extends beyond roofing to window, door, and siding installation as well. Visit tristate.pro to schedule a free inspection and estimate or call 253-ROOFING.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hot.
Countryfy your day with today's hits and yesterday's country music favorites. Tune into our sister station and get your country on. The Straight 102.1 FM.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Online at myclallamcounty.com. News Radio KONP, Port Angeles, Sequim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Idalia, now a Category 2 hurricane and still gaining strength in the Gulf, taking aim at Florida's west coast, where it's the calm before the storm in Cedar Key, ahead of tomorrow morning's expected landfall. National Hurricane Center Director Michael Brennan says it will be a catastrophic event with major storm surge expected north of Tampa.
It's going to push the Gulf waters and just pile them up continuously up into places like Tampa Bay that may be 50 or more miles away from the center of the storm. But that water, you're blowing 40 or 50 miles per hour of wind up into the mouth of Tampa Bay. That water is going to continue to pile up. And if you add into that the runoff that's going to come from the rainfall, 4 to 8 inches, isolated totals even higher than that, you're going to have a compounding flooding situation.
FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell urging residents to evacuate in the hours that remain.
Very few people can survive being in the path of major storm surge, and this storm will be deadly if we don't get out of harm's way and take it seriously.
President Biden also monitoring the situation. The president outlined 10 prescription drugs selected under the first Medicare price negotiation today, aimed at lowering health care costs. Any savings, though, won't be seen until at least 2026 and when legal challenges are settled.
The Biden administration is facing 8 lawsuits over the Medicare drug pricing negotiation program. The president Monday said the pharmaceutical industry spent hundreds of millions of dollars in lobbying fees to try and block it and block the Inflation Reduction Act.
And when they failed, they went to federal court to sue the government in an attempt to maintain their exorbitant prices.
The president said his administration will continue to stand up to the pharmaceutical industry and won't back down. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Number 2 Republican in the House, Representative Steve Scalise, announced he's battling multiple myeloma, a blood cancer. In a statement, Scalise says he's started treatment and intends to return to the Capitol after the summer recess. You're listening to ABC News.
Attention taxpayers, ready for some bad news? With $80 billion in new funding from Congress, the IRS has launched their most aggressive hiring campaign ever to ramp up enforcement. If you're ignoring your taxes, don't delay another minute because your paycheck, your bank account, even your home or business could already be at risk. Now, here's the good news. Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm, can get to work immediately, helping to protect you from the IRS. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their tax attorneys and licensed professionals are experts at resolving tax problems. Let them help determine if you qualify for the Fresh Start Initiative or other powerful IRS tax assistance programs. Take control. Call Optima Tax Relief now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Drought is lowering water levels in the Panama Canal, where about 80% of global trade passes through, causing concerns about climate's effect on the canal. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Panama City.
They can restrict the number of ships actually going through the canal, but there's only so much they can do. The way this is designed, it needs fresh water. So if droughts continue to happen, unfortunately, the actual viability of the Panama Canal itself could come into question.
The Wall Street whiz kid, known in the 1980s for his flashy lifestyle, allegedly funded through fraud, has been arrested again.
David Bloom is no longer a kid. Once known as a Wall Street whiz kid, he's now 59 years old, and Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon says Bloom has been up to his old antics, defrauding victims, promising them returns he could not deliver. taking nearly $250,000.
This is an individual who's a predator. He's been preying on victims, vulnerable people, all of his life.
Bloom has now been arrested by the LAPD and is charged with 9 counts of grand theft and 9 counts of fraud. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
ABC News has learned the FBI is investigating a group of Uzbekistan nationals who were given asylum in the U.S. after learning they arrived in the U.S. through an ISIS-linked smuggling network. The Bureau is working to identify which aliases came in contact with the smugglers. This is ABC News.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose